Let me pause here and talk to you, those who feel like you're being shaken out of your place, those who feel unfulfilled, those who feel frustrated, those who feel pressure, those who are confused about what's going on. You're wondering what you did wrong to kind of be in the mental and spiritual place that you're in right now. Job is fine. You have a job. You have a job and you're really good at it, but something is just pressing down on you. I want to encourage you to allow that vision to live. Hey, hey, friends, it's Dr. Jackson again, but you can call me PBJ. Welcome to another episode of Disrupting Burnout. Friends, I am so excited. Last night, I had the orientation for our folks in the Heartwork Academy, and when I tell you this community is so powerful, just women who are pursuing their purpose and their brilliance and breaking the shackles of burnout and overwhelm and just surviving and walking into the freedom that they were created for. You need to come in and join us. Yes, I know we had the orientation last night, but it's not too late for you. I want to share that orientation or a piece of it. I can't give you everything, but a piece of that time we spent last night, I want to share with you so that you can learn more about what to expect in the Heartwork Academy and you can consider if it's something for you. Yeah, it's not too late. You can still jump in. Our first official meeting is Monday, May 22nd, according to when you're watching this, but the Heartwork Academy is ongoing. So whenever you hear this, you can jump in and join this community and be a part of the work that we're doing together. So let me start just by telling you where this comes from for me, and why I created this community. So you know my burnout story. You know that I was out of work for 5 months, and due to burnout, I got to the executive position and all of my professional goals were met, and I burnt out in the middle of all of it, and had to spend some time in recovery and learning how to, one, serve with my whole heart, right, without living those consequences, but also, God, who am I? What did you create me for? That burnout was what I call a crisis of brilliance. It shook me to my core. I thought my life was falling apart. I didn't know what to do. And actually, it did fall apart and it needed to. It needed to fall apart. It was the first time since I started my professional career that I ever considered that I would do something different. I was so comfortable in what I was doing and I'm good at it. I'm good at working with college students. I had my network, I got my people, I felt confident, I knew what I was doing, and God came and shook that whole thing up because I was so comfortable. And if He did not allow the shaking, I would have never considered that there was something more. There was always this dream in my heart that I would travel and I would speak and I would inspire people, but I thought that was either outside of work, just ministry alone, or something that I would maybe do on the side after retirement. It's kind of the box that I put that in. But that wasn't God's plan. The time was now, and I would not have considered this. I would not be doing this. I would not be living this life if not for the shaking that came in my life. So went through that 5 months with no job and not sure what was going to happen. A lot of prayer, a lot of focus. God, what do you want out of me? And He started allowing me to see this vision of what I'm walking out right now. For the first time, I started considering maybe this is not just a ministry thing. Maybe it's not just a side hustle. Maybe it's not just something that I'll do in retirement, but maybe it's something that needs to happen right now. I didn't know how. I didn't have any methods. I didn't have any knowledge about business, but I just knew what I saw. I knew what I saw. After 5 months, I'm grateful that I went back to work. I did go back to work on a campus. And when I took that job, I expected that I would be there for a little while while kind of building this and learning what this vision looks like kind of on the side, right? That's what I expected, that I would be able to do my work and, have that stable income and have that stable place at work, but just be kind of building this vision on the side. Well, I'm here to tell you, 2 years in, my soul was rocked again. And I didn't, have a burnout period. I didn't leave because of burnout, because I had learned a lot about that by then. But I knew I knew I was being shaken out of my place. Let me pause here and talk to you, those who feel like you're being shaken out of your place. Those who feel unfulfilled, those who feel frustrated, those who feel pressure, those who are confused about what's going on. You're wondering what you did wrong to kind of be in the mental and spiritual place that you're in right now. Job is fine. You have a job. You have a job and you're really good at it, but something is just pressing down on you. I want to encourage you to allow that vision to live. You need to make space to dream about it, to talk about it, to write about it, because eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard what that seed is going to become. So I want you to know that you haven't done anything wrong and this is not punishment, but you are in a space of a crisis of brilliance where there's transition coming to your life. And either you work with the transition and you move to the next space, or you push against it and that pressure increases. That's where you are right now. And that's where I was. I was serving my students, serving my staff, serving my institution, and the pressure came. And I knew in my spirit that it was time. And I even prayed about it. I prayed because at that point I had been through so much that I just wanted whatever God wants for me. And that's still where I am. I just want whatever He wants for me. And I prayed that. I said, God, whatever you want, please tell me and I'll do it. But I can't do both. I couldn't keep my foot in both areas. Both were so demanding that I had to choose. I couldn't do my job and do this on the side. And I couldn't do my vision and then just kind of half my work. That's not how this works. And I was in a place where both had grown so much that I had to make a choice. I could no longer have my foot in both worlds. So I prayed. I said, God, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. You tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. So the very next day after I prayed that prayer, the very next day, and I was honest, I said, if you want me to be in this job, I've got to let this vision just sit. I can't keep investing there because the two can't exist together. If you want me to go all in with this vision, then I got to walk away from this job. But I can't do both. The very next day, I got 2 calls. First of all, people who engage with me don't normally call me. They contact me through my website. We set up an appointment. I got 2 calls. And each one of those calls were an opportunity to work with organizations and to speak that I didn't solicit. I didn't ask for. One group, I still didn't know how they found me. They said, and when I asked, I said, how'd you find me? Oh, a speakers bureau. Friends, I don't work with a speakers bureau. So it couldn't have been a speakers bureau. Either way, I got those calls and they wanted to connect with me and my services. And I knew that was the answer. I knew it was time. I knew in my spirit that was the confirmation. I knew it was time. So I began planning my exit. Now I didn't just, walk into my boss that day and say, I quit. I didn't do that. I didn't let my work know until several months after that, because it wasn't time. Because once I knew it was time, then I said, God, what's your timeline? So not just run and do it, but what is your timeline? So long story short, I made the transition from my full-time job to full-time pursuing this vision. And I'm just amazed at what God is doing. I'm amazed. When I look at my life right now, I mean, literally right now, I'm sitting in my home office with my dog at my feet, with my windows open, sharing my heart with you all. This was a dream. And I know this is not everybody's dream, but this was my dream. I didn't see this as a possibility for years to come. This is what I thought my retirement would look like. And here I am. Here I am. Here I am. So I need you to know that where you are is on purpose and for a purpose. And if you want support in walking through this season, you need to come into the Heartwork community, because I am going to teach you and support you step by step in walking out of the cycles of burnout. And let's talk about the cycles of burnout, right? Because folks often ask, PBJ, but I'm not burnt out, so can I join? Yes, absolutely, friend. You can join, because this is not just about folks who are burnt out, right? This is also about folks who are in that surviving phase. Surviving is, I got it, things are fine. Work is fine, family's fine, we got income, we're okay. But something is nudging me. There's pressure on me. And it feels like everything's squeezing me out and I don't know what I did wrong. That surviving place, that's your crisis of brilliance. That's your purpose calling you, saying that it's time to make a transition. And I know that can be scary, because it feels like everything that you've leaned on to this date, you don't have it to lean on anymore. Like it's falling away. And I need to encourage your heart to let you know that it has to fall away. If it doesn't fall away, you'll keep leaning. You'll keep leaning. You'll stay there comfortable, but it's got to fall away so that you can be everything that God has created you to be, friend. So I'm here to tell you, if you are in surviving, if you know there's more, if you have a vision, if you're not even clear what it looks like, but you know there's something, then you need to get into the Heartwork community. That I met women last night who, some of them have a vision, some of them are not quite sure, but they know there has to be some. Others said, I'm in rock bottom burnout right now, PBJ. No matter where you are in the cycles, we can support you, help you, teach you, walk you through it. That second phase of the cycles of burnout is overwhelm. In overwhelm, your body starts screaming at you, your mind is screaming at you, your emotions are screaming at you, your relationships scream at you, your environment screams at you. Everything around you says, hey, we can't keep doing this. This is not working. We cannot keep doing this. You can barely breathe. In overwhelm, you just want to run away. Like, I just need a break. I need to get away. You want to run away because everything in you is saying, we've had enough. We've had enough and we've got to do something different. But you don't know what the different is. You don't know how to get out of that space. It's like a roller coaster and you want the ride to stop, but nobody will stop it to let you off. If you're in overwhelm, you need to join us. It's critical. It's critical that you learn how to break that cycle of overwhelm, because if you don't, then you find yourself in burnout. Overwhelm is the whisper. Burnout is the demand. You will stop. Burnout is the involuntary shutdown of something. Your body, your mind, your emotions, a relationship, a critical relationship. Something breaks. Something breaks in burnout. And I don't want you to find yourself there. And if you are there, I want you to know that you can recover. And you can come back, not in a way of let's go up the hill then down the hill, up the hill then down the hill. No more down the hill. No more going back to burnout. Let's destroy the cycle. Let's disrupt the cycle so that you don't have to keep going back and forth. So that we are serving everybody, no matter where you are in the cycles of burnout, we're serving you. And I want to talk to you about brilliance, because we're going from the cycles of burnout to brilliance. When I say brilliance, I'm talking about your purpose. But let me be very, very clear, because I think we're confused about what purpose is. Purpose and passion are not the same thing. Purpose and passion are not the same thing. Purpose is your innate, unique brilliance, the gift that you were given by God, created to house it, and you get it just by waking up and breathing. Purpose is what you've done all your life, but you've never put value on it because somebody has never told you it's valuable, or because it comes so easy to you, you don't think it's worth anything. Purpose is the core of your essence. Purpose is how you look like your Heavenly Father. It's your spiritual DNA. It is the gift, innate, unique to you, that flows from you freely no matter what you do or what space you show up in. That's the purpose. Passions are the expressions of that. And we get wrapped up in passions because we define ourselves by passions. I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, I'm a counselor, I'm a social worker, I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Those are all expressions. None of those are the purpose. Your job is not your purpose. Your title is not your purpose. Your salary is not your purpose. All of that are expressions of the innate, unique brilliance that you were created to house. And you got to identify your purpose, your brilliance from your passions so that you will know that that brilliance is secure. It is never going to change. That is what you bring to the earth. But your passions, they can change. You can add, you can change, you can transition, you can take away. Passions are the expression. It's how you share your brilliance with the world. But purpose, that's the innate, unique brilliance that you were created to house in the earth. When you know that brilliance, there's a fulfillment that comes over you. You don't expect your job to fulfill you anymore. You don't expect family members to fulfill you anymore. You don't expect to be filled with anything else except God because you know why you're here. And whether it's a good day or a not so good day, you go to bed knowing that you did exactly what you were created to do because you know who you are. And you've got to know who you are. I got to share one more foundation with you. This is a new concept to me that God has recently given me, and I'm so excited about it. This is something that I write about in the book, but I just want to give you a brief overview today because in order to see transformation, in order for things to change, there's a process of change. And that process is head, heart, hands. Head is the knowledge, heart is the belief, hands, the action. There's a lot that you know right now that you're not doing. Knowing is not enough. Just listening to the podcast is knowing. And knowing is important. It's the first step to transformation, but it's not everything. It just leaves it short. Knowing is one thing, but you got to get what you know down into your heart to believe it. You got to start believing what you know. Until you believe it's true for you, you'll never see it in your hands. You have heard my story over and over and over, and you are convinced and you know that it's true for me. You know that my hope from 2019 to 2023, my whole life has transformed. You've watched it. You've been a part of the journey. You are convinced that it's true for me. But in order for it to impact your life, you need to be convinced that it's true for you. You need to know that the transformation that I have experienced is true for you. Not just for me. Not just for me. And that is what we're doing in the Heartwork Academy. This coaching community is full of women who are ready to walk into their God-given brilliance. So in short, how are we going to do this? We're going to meet at least once a month. Standard once a month, but every now and then we'll have an extra session. We'll meet live. So this is not me just talking and you can leave comments. We're talking. We're all together on an electronic platform. Outside of our meetings, we have a group. This is not a Facebook group. There's nothing against Facebook groups. But we have a group where we can communicate, leave messages for each other, respond to each other, that we're continuing to encourage each other on the journey. You have a place to come when you have a tough day. You have a place to come when you have a great day. You have a place where you're going to be celebrated. You have a place where you're going to be challenged. It's not just me, But you haven't even met these women that are a part of your community now. Women from all over the country, literally from all over the country, who have come with like mind and like heart to not just walk into their own brilliance and as their brilliance evolves to get to know their brilliance, but to support you in yours. So this community is pivotal. It's pivotal. And then you're going to get proven strategy. I am going to teach you. I told the folks on social media, this is the second printing of my book. So the first printing was just for me to read it cover to cover. Um, and I made edits and changes, and this printing went out to my beta readers, right? So a group of women who have agreed to read it and give me feedback. But the folks who are in the Heartwork Academy, we are working this thing. We're working this thing. They don't have to wait until the book comes out, because every strategy in this book, we're walking through it together. And not only am I teaching it, but they are living out the strategies. They're living out the strategies and seeing the results from these strategies. So, friend, listen, I want you to know that this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Well, when is the deadline, PBJ? Join now. Join now. Get in now. Don't get behind. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? At $30 a month, it won't always be that price. It's specifically that price because God laid on my heart that there are some folks who need to be on this journey and need support on their journey, but they're not ready to make a huge investment yet. So it's purposeful. That price is not about paying my bills. That price is an entry, it's an invitation to come in and get what you know you need. You've been waiting for years. You've been waiting for years. Some of you have been on my whole journey with me and applauding me along the way, but not getting what you need. It's time. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity to come and be a part of this community, of this transformation. Get in now. Get in now. Let me just say this to you all. I won't always be able to be the coach in my communities. And it's probably going to happen quicker than I think. I won't always be able to be the one doing the coaching and the supporting directly. I spoke with the woman the other day. She's like, I can't believe I'm actually meeting with you. I thought I was going to meet with one of your people. And before we got off the phone, she said, you won't be able to do this much longer. Friend, while I'm able to do this, I need you to come now. Come now. I don't know the whole story of what tomorrow looks like. I have a vision. And it's going to be impactful no matter what. But if you know you've been connected to me and my story, you need to join us now. Because I can't promise you what 6 months, 2 months, 3 months from now will look like. Get in here. Get in here. It's time. $30 a month. Heartworkacademy.com. Heartworkacademy.com. Get registered today. We will have our first meeting on Monday, the 22nd. If you're watching this after the 22nd, jump in. Jump in now. Go ahead and get connected. Don't question. If you need more convincing than this, then maybe you're not ready, and that's okay. But for those of you who are ready, and those of you who know that this is the answer to your prayer, if when I speak, I sound like I've been in your prayer closet with you, if when I speak, I sound like I've been sitting with you in your living room having a conversation, then what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? On this podcast platform, I can share to you, but I can't connect with you. You need to get in community with me. We need to walk this thing out together. So that's it. You need to come on in. That's the end of the story. Now is the time. Now is the time. You do have time. You make time for everything else, for everybody else. Make time for you. Once a month for a couple of hours. Once a month for a couple hours. You can't do that? If you can't do that, friend, you're not ready. Okay? So let's do this. Let's get it. It's time to disrupt, destroy those cycles. No more cycles. No more cycles. Destroy the cycles so that you can walk in brilliance. It is your turn. It's your turn. Let's get it. As always, friend, you know that you are powerful, you are significant, and you are so loved. You are loved. Do not hesitate. Heartworkacademy.com. Let's go. I'll see you in there. Bye, friend.